Hey guys, how's it going? It's Etanyos here. Welcome to this NHL 22 roster updating video part 2. We're going to be getting into the AHL and a bunch of the junior leagues this year. And well, I'm just really excited for this. The last video blew up. You guys absolutely knocked it out of the water with the views and the comments and everything. It is easily my top video on my channel right now for NHL 22 anyways. I really appreciate it. And if you guys, again, have not gone and checked it out, I'm going to plug my merch because you guys have just got to love this stuff, like Yard Sale Hockey. Go and check it out. I mean, this is my merch that directly supports my channel. You guys have been crushing it for the support on my channel anyways, and I really appreciate it. And we've gained 82 subs in the last month. That's insane, and I think we're going to just keep crushing it. Let's keep pushing towards 1,500, 1,600. We're going to try to hit 2K this year. Absolutely. I know we can hit a road to 2K, but man, I'm excited. So let's get started. Let's get into this. All right, guys. So we are here on NHL 22 again in the roster section, but today we've got to go over a few comments, and we do have to just, edit some players throughout here, get through some player movement and a couple other things to start it off from the comments. So the first comment here came from Blake E. saying Brandon Hagel should be a bit higher. He played well for the Blackhawks last year and was protected. So that is absolutely a comment we will go and look into, considering that Chicago is a pretty solid team, even if they haven't gotten off to a great start. Looks like Hagel is a little low rated, honestly. So as a playmaker, well, how were his stats last year? 24 points, 52 games, not terrible, honestly. So I think maybe we bump him up to like a medium 9 forward, give him like a 78, 79 rating. I think that's a little bit more accurate. If you guys disagree, well, let me know, but I would say that a medium top 9 is probably accurate for him. We'll bump up, a couple of his stats here. He actually seems to have pretty solid stats overall already, so you gotta like that. I'll just bump him up a little bit more on a bunch of these stats here. It's really not going to take all that much. You can literally just bump his offensive awareness and defensive awareness, and that should get him up, and there you go. All right, so Blake, I hope that satisfies your comment there. And let's get to the next one. So the next one came from Drayden Plett saying, give Braden Point a 91 overall. He has been amazing in the past 2 cup-winning seasons for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and in my opinion, he's much better than Steven Stamkos. Honestly, I kind of agree with you. And yeah, the fact that he's a 90 or an 89 instead of a 90, 91, 92, somewhere around there, because Tampa's loaded. We all know this, but they've drafted insanely well too, so I'm going to do 2 things here. First off, I think he's got that high elite potential. I think he is borderline franchise player. I also think he's one of the fastest guys in the game. So I think if we're going to upgrade anything, it's going to be his speed. Because honestly, you watch Braden Point play in the playoffs and it's like, oh my god, this guy just burns players and he's only 5'10". Like, he's not that big, but oh my god, when he decides he's going to the net, you're not stopping him. Like, you literally have to take this guy down to actually get him to stop from going to the net. So I think 95 offensive awareness is probably about good too, and there's that 91 overall that I honestly agree with. I think Braden Point's just simply that insanely good. All right, and the final comment here came from the RoboBuck, and this was from the last video anyways. So what his comment said was Noah Juleson is on Florida's AHL team. So this is real easy to do. We're just going to go over to player movement. We're going to pull Juleson from, I believe, the Charlotte Checkers. I might be wrong on that one, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there he is. Okay. So Noah Juleson is going to get moved over to the Vancouver Canucks because obviously that last trade went through, and we are going to finish that one off. Charlotte would have less than 18 skaters. Okay. I don't know why I did that. Let's try this again. Charlotte's going to have less than 18 skaters. That doesn't make sense. So let's go over to maybe just like free agents first. Pull some random, not super low, but like a decently low forward. off of that team, toss him on Charlotte for now. I'm not really too worried about it. Move him there, then we're going to move Juleson, and we're going to go back over to the NHL. Move Juleson to Vancouver, and there we go. Okay, so that Vancouver trade sending Olli Levy the other way is finally complete. So that's how to do it properly, and I think that's it for the comments that really directly relate to what we're doing in this video. But now we can actually go and start moving forward with getting this done, getting this thing moving forward and getting some serious roster editing done. So what we are going to be doing today is a bit of the AHL, but mainly I think we're going to be doing the major junior leagues here at the WHL, OHL, and QMJHL. From the sounds of it, there are tons of players missing through here, so I can't wait to see what EA's roster update does. And obviously, we'll be trying to kind of implement or merge those rosters together with the one that I'm currently working on. So let's get into the AHL. Let's go through. I don't think there's going to be too many, ridiculously crazy numbers or changes here or anything like that. But, some of these guys did play pretty decently. Vasily Podkolzin, I do have, for those of you guys who didn't see it, I have him assigned to Vancouver now. He is properly affiliated with the Canucks, and he should be good. Apart from that, Jeff Wu hasn't made crazy progress, which is too bad. Bakersfield saw a couple players play really well in Cooper Marody, Tyler Benson, Evan Bouchard, guys like that. I think they are going to be that good, but at the same time, I don't think there's really a ton of upgrading needed here, apart from maybe Stuart Skinner's like a 78-ish overall. I'd say maybe we bump him up a little bit. But apart from that, there really aren't too many other guys that need any attribute boosts, which is exactly what we're doing. We're just doing straight up attribute boosts. Yeah, it's a bit of a mouthful, but that's okay. His consistency is going to stay 1 out of 1 or 1 out of 2. I don't know why that's even a stat. Like, what's consistency? Like, you play 2 out of 2 games kind of thing? I guess so. Bump him up a little bit more. Okay, I think that's good. So yeah, that's Stuart Skinner. I don't think he really demands or deserves any abilities, but I think Dialed In is possibly the most overpowered X factor in the game right now. For those of you guys who don't know, when a goalie makes 15 saves in a row or more, so essentially if you don't score on 1 of 15 shots with a goalie like Connor Hellebuck or somebody along those lines, they just stop everything after that, and it's a little ridiculous, but that's just the way it works. And to be honest, I don't think it's a great addition to the game, just based on the fact that that's actually how it works. But at the same time, I think we got a Logan Brown trade here too, not gonna lie. Is Logan Brown not on St. Louis? Yeah, Zach Sanford. Okay, so we can move. There's one. We should probably go do that right now, to be honest. Otherwise, I'll forget about it. So we're at Belleville, and that's a quick transfer over. Okay. So yeah, we'll just move Sanford over to what do you call it? We'll move Sanford over to we're going to select Ottawa Senators for the free agent. Okay. So, there's another trade you can make. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward, but again, just kind of gets the rosters more up to date based on the fact that you'll have to pull Sanford up from the AHL, but I think that's accurate, to be honest, because that's how the transaction ended up going through anyways. Was that, yes, Sanford did have to make the Belleville or the Ottawa team, but that's really not that hard when you're a decent NHL player. Who else is decent here? Lassie Thompson. I don't know how good he's going to be. He's a Kelowna defenseman, but was an overseas kind of grown prospect, to be fair. So now over to Bridgeport, and I haven't gotten to it yet, but there's going to be at least 1 or 2 creative players that we end up adding for Bridgeport eventually. But Dmytro Timashov is on there. I don't know if Bode Wild's even going to be playing. I don't think he's had his vaccines, if I'm correct. But yeah, that's not completely it. Simon Holmstrom's in there. I'm actually kind of surprised he's in the game. They usually tend to miss prospects like that, like 20 to 30 round pick players in, you know, the AHL and elsewhere. Not gonna lie, I don't see a whole lot of editing. I want to hear your guys' opinions. If you think players should be higher, let me know. Hey, they got Denisenko in the game this year though, so that's good. Heponiemi, I think he's gonna be a great player, but we'll see. I'm not gonna edit too many guys here. I'm kind of just going through and editing the ones where I'm like, okay, this guy's for sure better than that kind of thing, or maybe this guy's worse kind of thing. But there's not too many of those, to be honest. Again, I want to hear what you guys are saying. Alex Leon, Dylan Wells, ex-Oilers goalie, I believe. You know, usually there's actually not that many like really, really good prospects in here. Dominic Bach was supposed to be like an insanely good European player and just never really turned out, unfortunately. Jameson Reese got traded in. Actually, yeah, no, Chicago is, I'm pretty sure Chicago is actually, what do you call it? Chicago is Carolina's AHL team. Who is this? Andrew Piquet, or Piquet, however you say his name. You can see we have, added player there, Kent Johnson, going to, of course, the Erie Monsters, or the Cleveland Monsters, forgive me, as Columbus's AHL affiliate. Again, go add him to the game if you haven't yet. You can view that video down in the description or on my channel. There's playlists for all that stuff, so you should go check it out. Dylan Secura seems to have a pretty high rating considering where he's at. Martin Cott, I don't know if he's actually going to make their team in the next year or so. So I think we're actually at a pretty good rating there for him. Not going to lie, there's not a lot of options and potential in a lot of the AHL here, which is kind of too bad, but that's how it works with a lot of these teams. They don't play a ton of their talent in the minors, and honestly, I think that's where teams like Edmonton, and I don't know who else plays a ton of talent down in the minors compared to in junior leagues and stuff like that. When I'm thinking about it now, like Detroit doesn't really do that, I don't believe. I might be wrong, but Edmonton does that for sure. Okay, Libor Hayek, or Libor Hayek probably could be playing in their team, but he was kind of like odd man out this year, which was really weird considering he's a pretty decent defenseman and definitely has the potential to make the NHL. But yeah, New York's just been a bit of a strange team regardless of their moves or not. Okay, over to Henderson, and not gonna lie, AHL's a little bit weak. Like, there's not a lot of guys where I'm like, this guy has to be better, this guy has to be worse. It's just weird, not gonna lie. Alexander Alexiev looks like he could be pretty decent in the future. Apart from that, not like I don't know. You guys let me know who you think I need to edit in the AHL, because I'm going through. We're already at Hershey, we're now at Iowa, and like the only guy that I think, yeah, Kalen Addison is like borderline NHL ready. He should be like a 79, 80 rated at 21 years old. That would be my opinion on the guy. Sure, he's kind of struggled here and there, but the fact that they're literally like, I'd say he's quite a bit faster than that. Yeah, I don't know if I entirely agree with all of these ratings, to be honest, but that's okay. That's what we're here for. Again, need to upgrade certain stats. Some of these are a little ridiculous, but that's okay. He should be like 79, 80 rated, I would say. I'd say somewhere right around there. He is defensively a little questionable, so maybe we give him a higher offensive rating. I think his poise is actually quite good as like an offensively minded defenseman. He does move the puck extremely well, and he's also quite agile, so I'd bump that up a little bit more. Maybe bump his puck control and passing. Okay, looks good. All right. So yeah, I think Calen Addison should be about an 80 rated. I don't know if he has any factors here. The only thing I could think is maybe tape to tape, but not as an X factor by any means either. Just okay. I don't know why it's setting as an X factor. I want it just as a zone ability. Or, sorry, I want it as an X factor, not a zone ability, because I think Addison does move the puck that well. So I'm going to set that. I want to hear your guys' opinion on that one, especially since, you know, Calen Addison has been improving significantly for Iowa and for the Minnesota Wild, of course, because they're going to, you know, they cut the rights to him off of that Pittsburgh trade that saw Zucker go the other, Zucker, whatever you want to call him. Jason Zucker, I say Zucker, go the other way to Pittsburgh, and really paid off quite nicely for Minnesota, as they're going to probably get a top 4 pairing out of that trade, as they ended up, you know, drafting Carson Lambos as well with that other pick. Like, that's just absolute insanity. Montreal, so the Laval Rockets. Literally, like, no potential in this team almost. Yolanen, he's an interesting player. Paling, I don't know. Like, he had that crazy debut, and that's kind of all we've heard from him so far. So, Primo, okay, yeah, Primo is borderline NHL ready, I would say, at 22. Lehigh. Not a ton of players. Cam York's in the game. That's really good to see, because I was making him last year on this game, right around this time. Samuel Morin's such a strange player. 11th overall pick in 2013, which was a really darn solid draft too. And just a miss. Just a draft bust, to be completely honest. Okay, over to Manitoba. Cole Perfetti. Yeah, that's a big name. Really good player too, obviously. He's one of those guys that's gonna make a big difference in Winnipeg, I think. Svechnikov, okay, he's decent. I'm pretty sure Detroit picked up Evgeny Svechnikov, so we might have to move him over as well. I'm gonna want to double check that one as well. All right, goalies on Winnipeg. You know, I don't see too much. I think Cole Perfetti's gonna grow quite nicely for this team. Same with a bunch of these other guys, and yeah, just, again, if you guys see players that you want me to upgrade, give me a rating, give me the player name. Patrick Harper's in the game now. He's tiny. But I did make him last year via request as well. Connor Ingram, not actually that terrible looking a goalie, but anyways, again, I'm not going to edit too many of these that I don't agree with. If it's prospects where I'm keeping up with them, I'm like, yes, this guy's good. Yes, this guy should be better. We'll upgrade them. But Kapari, it looks fine. Kaliev was a steal for where he got drafted, and Turcotte is a 5th overall pick. He's going to be sick this upcoming year, or two. Tyler Madden, you know, I've heard mixed opinions, but I think he's going to be a really good player too. Was he not drafted? He's drafted by Vancouver, actually, yeah. So we'll see. Like, the LA Kings have one of the best looking prospect pools in this entire game, to be completely honest. Maybe just apart from their goaltending, but that's really about it. Go over to Providence, Senishin, Studnicka, Vikanainen. They even got Cameron Hughes. Okay, Cameron Hughes isn't that crazy. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Like, let me know. Opinions, comments, I want to hear them. That's all I can really say for the majority of the AHL. Luukkonen maybe could be a little bit higher, but Buffalo's had a rough go. I put Owen Power there. I think that's about right. You know, 1st overall pick. He's just going to be ridiculously good. Apart from that, though, Not a lot there. Okay. Over to Rockford. And Bodine is definitely their best prospect, I would say. That's not in the team right now because they do have a lot of prospects in the team. What about goalies in here? Yeah, not much. Okay. San Diego. Ooh, San Diego is going to be a decent one. Perot, Garlou, Gouli, Myra. Yep. And they've got Dostal too. Yeah, so Anaheim's another one of those up-and-coming kind of teams. That's just going to be sick in the future. Ryan Merkley, interesting player. I don't know if I really think San Jose players deserve much of an upgrade after the last season or two, but if anybody does, it's maybe Merkley. I don't know. How do you, like San Jose fans, how do you guys feel on Merkley? I want to know, because I think he has the potential to be a top 4 defenseman, absolutely, one of your better defensive prospects in the system, but at the same time, Klim Kostin, I don't think I agree with that one. I think he is definitely better because he just lit up, was it Vegas? No, it wasn't Vegas, but he just scored a whole bunch of goals in the last couple of games. I think he's probably right around that 80 to 81 kind of rating. I don't think Kostin's should even be in the minors, to be completely honest with you. I think we could probably bump up like every single one of his stats here by a couple ratings. I think his shot, as proven over the last few games in the NHL, is just simply better than that. I'll just keep slowly bumping all those statistics up. Like, what is this? Bump that stuff up. I mean, maybe not quite that high. I think 81 is probably about a good rating for him. But he's NHL ready. There's no question about that. Apart from that, I think Kostin's maybe one of the few that actually deserves the upgrade there. On to Stockton. And, well, I don't know. Calgary fans, I know I'm personally an Edmonton fan. That shouldn't stop us from coming together as a hockey community in general and just, making sure that ratings are accurate for some, not for some, but for most players. I'm sure there are certain guys in your system that you probably think need an upgrade, and I would probably agree there probably are some really good prospects in there that the game is not necessarily missing, but just isn't accurate on. So yeah, looking at Tampa Bay's Syracuse crunch now, and yeah, I'd say Taylor Radish is probably their best prospect, but that's the thing, the majority of their prospects are in their team already, or are overseas, or playing in the CHL or stuff like that. So Thomas Harley, decent defenseman, nothing crazy, but decent. Ottinger, not gonna lie, I think Jake Ottinger is actually a medium starter, and I think Dallas has kind of just butchered their opportunity to start getting him some play time, to be completely honest. Like, the fact that he's 82 rated at 22 years old is insane. He's a very good goalie, and I would agree on that. And I think he's at very least a medium starter. I think I'm actually going to give him a high starting caliber potential, because I think Jake Ottinger is actually just that good, and you don't go in the first round as a goalie unless you're that good. So let's do that. This is Colton Point. I wonder if he's related to Braden anyway. That'd be really funny if he is. But moving on from the Texas Stars, and I was hearing some comments about, like, why does Rasmus Sandin not have a superstar X factor? Well, not gonna lie, I haven't really seen him display anything that's like superstar ability. Don't get me wrong, he's a very all-around good, solid player. But like, what do you guys want to hear for X factors for guys like Sandin or Liljegren or players like that? Like, I'd like to hear it, but at the same time, until I actually see it, I don't know if I agree with it. So Toronto actually has some really decent prospects in their system as well. Not anything super crazy again, but a really solid system overall. And on to the Roadrunners. Okay. Dyson Mayo just made his NHL debut and scored against the Oilers tonight, like the same night I'm recording this episode, so I think we could give him a little bit of a boost. He's 25. He's 25 years old, and just had his debut, so I think we can give him like a high top 6 potential, kind of pushes the top 4 on a bad Arizona. I'd say medium top 6 is probably good, but let's bump him up to like a 76 maybe. Something along those lines a bit more, as, he did actually score a pretty sweet goal tonight. To be fair, it was against Mikko Koskinen, but still, you got to give the guy credit for performing, and, well, let's do that. So, make Dyson Mayo a little bit better. I'm sure yep, that's where it is. I'm sure his stats are actually not really that bad, but the game just sewers him on certain ratings, so why not improve him a little bit? Okay, let's go like that. I think from what I saw tonight, he didn't actually do that terrible. He did get burned by Fogle as well, but that was a fun game to watch anyways, as Edmonton literally beat the living crap out of the Arizona Coyotes. So my apologies, Coyotes fans, but I've been watching the Oilers lose for 10 plus years of my life, so the fact that they're actually off to a decent start is exciting for me. Alright, on to the Utica Comets, and of course we've got Luke Hughes assigned there, as he is drafted by the Devils 4th overall. You can go check out my Luke Hughes creation video if you want to add him to your game. Obviously these players will all be available once roster updates come out, but or roster sharing anyways. And, well, what else are we rocking with here? AHL's kind of weak, not gonna lie. Not kind of weak, but like kind of empty as far as prospects go. Pierre-Olivier Joseph. Meh. Nothing spectacular. And the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. Yikes. Wow, okay. They've got a very limited prospect pool. And that is it for the AHL. I want to hear what you guys think on my AHL ratings, on the few changes I did make, and for players you want to see updated and changed. And, well, honestly, I think this is more of an interactive kind of series with you guys. Like, I really want to hear what you guys have to say. Of course, the comments below, that's where all the good stuff, all the magic, all the interconnection and relation happens between you guys stating what you want and me producing it for you and then being able to give it back to you once roster sharing comes out. But moving on to the WHL, I don't know if we're going to get all the major junior leagues done today, but to be honest, I am sorting more so by potential here. Nate Danielson looks like he could actually be a fairly decent player coming up here in the future. I don't think they've actually made too many players that are really going to be good, that are going to actually be in the game. God, Vandelis is huge, 6'7", 229. I think I know some buddies that played with Vandelis, so that's where he sounds familiar. Gunther, yep, selected 9th overall. Williams is undrafted somehow, don't ask me how, but he is. For goalies, Kosa, agree to disagree. I'm going to change that. I think if you're going first round of the NHL draft, if you're going ahead of a guy like Jesper Wallstedt, I think not only are you going to be an elite goalie, but I think you're going to be a far better goalie than what you're currently getting credit for. I think that's a little bit better. I went about +3 ratings on each of those. And not gonna lie, I think if Kosa's gonna have any ability, it's either gonna be post to post or I think, yeah, if anything, he's got post to post and maybe like, is he a butterfly goalie? I need to double check that, because if he is butterfly styled, no, he's not. I was going to say if he's a butterfly style, he'll get butterfly effect as an ability. No question. But yeah, there's no way Kosa like only has one option. I'd say maybe like extra padding and light work would probably be two others that he's definitely got equipped, because I don't know if you guys really watched Sebastian Kosa, but he was ridiculously good in the WHL, and I think that's a little bit more accurate for how he's actually going to be for Detroit. For those of you who don't know, the Red Wings absolutely played the Oilers. They traded up a bunch of spots to pick him up. The only thing I forgot to do in here was to go and check goalies. So yeah, Kruger wasn't crazy. Those guys weren't anything else either. Okay, they weren't anything crazy special or anything like that. Matthew Robertson, Rangers prospect. I think he's about accurately rated. Cole Fonstad never really turned out to be crazy good. Little on the small side. Dustin Wolf. I don't know, Calgary fans. You think he goes up? I think he could. But I want to hear it from you in the comments. All right, on to Kamloops. Kamloops has got Connor Levy's there. Connor Zary, another Flames prospect. He's actually rated quite nicely. Logan Stankoven. He's small, but he's a freaking tank. And he's a really good player too. So I think those are accurate. For goalies, again, we just checked that. All right, over to the Rockets. I think, yeah, Caden Korzak's probably their best player. Maliak, Novak, Wong, yeah, that all looks about accurate. Yeah, there's nobody like crazy good. On Kelowna, I know Cole Schwebus, that's kind of funny. Alright, Lethbridge, Stringer, Stringer maybe could be better, but I think that's probably accurate. But yeah, again, like I've heard in the comments section, there are lots of players missing. Like, I think the one comment said like over 15 players were missing on certain teams. Cole Sillinger looking really decent. One-timer, make it snappy. Okay. Like, okay, I see you, Cole Sillinger. You looking real good there. Okay. Bjorklund, not terrible for a goalie. And Shogard, obviously just insane, but I think about accurately rated. For Moose Jaw, Braden Yeager, yeah, I'd say he's probably around there. I can't believe he's in the game already too. Like, that's crazy. That he's actually in there, but it makes sense as well. Like, he's a good-looking prospect for the future. Matt Tkachuk gonna be pretty decent. Same with Hunt, drafted to Minnesota. We're looking more so at top prospects than anybody else, but if you guys for some reason think that there's guys that aren't very accurately rated, let me know, obviously. Boston Billis, he's been going around this game and drafts and everything forever. See, this is one that I would agree to disagree on, because Seth Jarvis showed up in the Hurricanes preseason games and wasn't, crazy good. Obviously got caught lacking defensively a bunch, but I think he really did show off that he's like a borderline high top six. He's very well going to play in their middle six in the future, but I think he showed that he's a bit faster than this. His puck control's through the roof. We all know that. His shot's pretty decent. Like, it'll be good enough to beat AHL junior goalies, I would say. So probably looking a little more like that. He's quite agile. He's not super strong, but he's fast. He's a fast player. No doubt in my mind on that. I think he's got deeks for days. I think deeking would probably be one of his highest ratings. Seeing the fact that he's, I'd say 78 defensive awareness, but like 87 offensive awareness. Probably about accurate for Jarvis, and I'd say he's probably around a 77 or so. Maybe 76, yeah. Maybe upgrade his shot just a little bit more. It's not really going up. Okay. So let's just give him one more bump on the offensive awareness, or 2. Okay. There we go. Okay. I think that's, yeah. Not gonna lie, I do think Seth Jarvis is just gonna torch the AHL or the AHL juniors this year. Abilities, ankle breakers, probably something he's got. Along with, I don't know if I'd say beauty backhand, but I'd say close quarters. He does finish in close very nicely. And there's one more, which would be, what is this shootout one? So yeah, sorry guys, I don't know why I just absolutely struggled to find it, but All Alone was the other one I was thinking of. I think close quarters and All Alone are Seth Jarvis's kind of specialties, and there's no real doubt in my mind about that. He's a fantastic shooter, and can finish one-on-one against a lot of goalies, so yeah, I'd say that's about where Seth Jarvis is. Do they have any goalies? Nope, not really. Okay, on to Prince Albert, and same kind of, not a lot of goaltending situation. Caden Gooley, 16th overall pick by Montreal, should turn out to be pretty decent. Ozzy Wiesblatt, might make the Sharks eventually. Same with a guy like Nolan Allen going to Chicago. He'll be pretty good. Alright, on to Prince George. Taylor Gauthier hasn't been drafted, surprisingly. And Zemers is their best player. Maybe he goes higher. I don't think so, though. Let me know. Again, for all you Prince George fans out there, I don't know if there's all that many of you. Callan Lynn playing on Red Deer. Maybe he's related to Cole, I would assume. Might be wrong on that one, but I would assume so. This is the one we gotta check, but I'm assuming he's on here. Yep. No question about that. Oh, Riker Evans gets a low elite rating. Interesting. But yeah, Connor Bedard's gonna be, without a doubt, an absolute godsend of a player, man. He's gonna be, to be fair, you look at, I guess his stats don't even exist in the game, but he was trending for a ridiculous WHL season, like best in history kind of WHL season. So yeah, he's going to be a guy that we're going to have to watch out for when we're playing franchise mode. And when you guys are playing franchise mode, obviously, he's going to be insane. Lazowski should be pretty decent. I wonder, this is the one thing I wonder though, is did they actually put, they didn't put any X factors on Bedard, so I wonder, do X factors actually develop over time? Like, I don't think they do, but they might. Just based on the fact that they're not giving like wheels or Schneip or anything to Bedard when he's very obviously going to be able to perform those kind of superstar X factor zone abilities, whatever you want to call them. Like, I want to know, right? I want to know, do superstar X factors actually develop? I don't think they do, which is stupid, but that's the way it's going to be, I guess. Jack Finley was drafted by Tampa Bay. Okay, that's what I thought. Bear Hughes, there's a name for you. Hey, a bunch of Hugheses out there. Alright, Reed Dick, however you want to say his name. Matthew Ward, going to be a great player. He's a little small, but does have the opportunity to be decent in the NHL potentially. Tri-City, they don't have anybody. Mutala, nah, not really. Tyson Greenway is not the guy I'm thinking of. Suardy should do alright for Florida. Madsen Leslie, interesting. Later draft kind of pick. Alright, Keegan Maddox. Not crazy. Braden Tracy got drafted pretty high by Anaheim, hey? That's a decent pick. 29th overall in, what, 2019? Yeah, 2019. Okay. And then finally the Winnipeg Ice. They've got 2 decent players. 3, never mind. Yeah, I forgot they had Lambos too. So Lambos is actually getting drafted this year, or got drafted this year. Savoie is undrafted. Same with Connor Geeky. So they got 2 real good players there. Looks like Zachary Benson's on this team too. He's absolutely tiny, but yikes, man, those guys are really tiny. Connor McClellan, or McLennan, sorry, McLennan. Connor McLennan's there too. Yeah, Winnipeg's just really stacked as well. So again, I don't know exactly how X factors and zone abilities are going to work with junior players, if they do develop over time or not. But this video is going to be pushing probably about 40 minutes or so already, so I think we're going to wrap it up. This is WHL. We're going to do a couple takes of this because, like, I might be able to get the SHL and Liga done just because there's just simply less prospects and players to update. But again, I want to hear feedback. I love hearing feedback from you guys. I love scrolling on my phone and seeing that there's like 8 or 10 new comments on YouTube being like, okay, I got to sit down at a laptop or maybe on my phone and try to respond to you guys because you're blowing it up. I love how much growth the channel's gotten off of this, but just upgrading AHL and WHL ratings, fantastic. We're gonna do the OHL and Q next, and I want to hear what you guys have to say. So anyways, guys, that's going to be it for me. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure to go down below, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, check out that yard sale hockey link, go purchase yourself some hockey apparel if you love the game as much as I do, and you know, that all supports the channel. But that's going to be it for me, and until next time.